All right, we got it figured out. My bad about the first one. So today we're talking about on today's live feed. We're talking about. Well, I was at the gym with Johnny yesterday, and we are talking about um, that essentially those that inherit freedom and don't have to go through hardships and don't have to work for freedom, um, don't appreciate it to the same level that former generations do, or people maybe that served in the military or did something of some sort of service, that they're just given this expectation of freedom and rights, and so they don't fully expect it. It's like anything, right? Anything with work. If you've never had to work for it, then you never had to earn it. Also, we were talking about Johnny had a very interesting and I feel correct view on the stimulus package that everybody's banging the drum on. And is it a good idea? Is the stimulus package a good idea, or is it really a velvet dagger that we are going to have to pay the bill? And I say we as in small business, because I don't think I don't think that I don't think that Bezos and Walmart and some of these other people are going to be fitting the bill for these government stimulus packages that are coming out. And my man Johnny is quite the researcher. He likes to go way down the rabbit hole in the internet and really start to pull facts. So here we are. So Johnny, welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. So that was a good conversation yesterday. I wanted to just like tune out and watch some like Walking Dead while I was on the stair mill of hell, but
No,
you started
I
bringing
shut that
some
off.
really good stuff on there. So let's talk about your thoughts on what you said, and I quoted you in the description about those who inherit. And you kind of went on live yesterday on the Johnny Slicks Instagram and kind of discussed a little bit about it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Something triggered my mind, and I just started going off on different things and different intentions. Everything seems like a big puzzle, and pieces are everywhere, and people are just not really connecting them. So in my mind, they just start connecting, and like you were walking on the stairs, and I was like, "Hey, did you hear about this that they're
Yeah.
doing?" And
So
they're
so real
purpose.
so real quick, talk about your thoughts on the generation and not really kind of giving up liberty so easily, and like where it's
Yeah,
not a big deal.
Yeah, it's actually really surprising that that people would do that. So I was thinking about back in history. Well, it all originated with the school system, and I was thinking about when I was in school. Um, Everybody knows that there's two sides of history, and the victor of whatever happens writes history. So we
Right.
read the stories of our ancestors winning. We never really hear about the other side. And people who have traveled to other countries see that there is another side to that
Oh,
history that we're not
absolutely.
taught.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we see it, if physically we see the result of the other side of that history, but we're not taught it in America. So it was confusing to me how we're the public education system is not teaching our kids, the future leaders of the country, about the other side of history. And it leads me to believe that kids nowadays, I say kids and 18 or under, even 18, 19, because they're voting now, but they don't even think about other countries other than America. And you watch videos online of guys, interviewers at colleges, and they're asking kids to point on the map where Africa is or name a continent. And these people don't know because they're just ignorant to the fact that there are other cultures and other people in the world
There's a whole other world out there.
other than America. And
Yeah.
it baffles me. So looking back in history, we can even go to the Greatest Generation in the early 1900s. These people, which are still alive, we still have these people that are living in society with us. Um, they came over from these other cultures. They came over from other countries, and they didn't know. Some of them didn't know what the concept of freedom was. They wanted to seek it because they only read about it or heard about it from other people. There was no freedom where they came from, so they came to America and they realized what it was worth, the cost of what freedom actually was.
And
So they did everything.
a lot of people like my talk with Bedros, like they
Yeah,
coming from a socialist country, like the people that have escaped socialism and then come here and then are watching what are happening, or
yeah,
they're like, are you guys nuts, man.
Yeah,
Do you know how
exactly.
bad
And
this shit can get?
yeah, it can get really bad really quick. All you have
Yeah.
to do is turn the switch on for them. But
Yeah.
these people, they came over here and they were like, "Whoa, this is freedom! I have the freedom to speak my mind. I have the freedom to practice my own religion. I can do things. I can vote for a democracy. It's so strange." So they voluntarily go and give their lives in combat to because they know it's worth something. They know it's worth their life.
Right.
So that happened in the early 1900s. And then there was a giant gap of confusion. The media got involved in war. The people started to revolt against the war. And it was a huge, huge thing happened in the mid 1900s. And then all of a sudden, we realized that there's no longer the risk of losing your life for war. Not saying that that doesn't exist anymore, but it's not a the people who are volunteering have not experienced no freedom. They were
Right.
born in a country that they were given the rights.
But
They weren't
by
earned.
like and by a mathematical, like essentially by math, it's damn near luck.
Right.
Like you were
Right.
born here,
Exactly.
I was born here. Like we were luck.
Yeah.
Like it just happened. We were
Right.
lucky to be
I
born
didn't.
in a country that had freedom.
Yeah. I didn't choose to be born here.
Right.
Um, but our great grandparents and our grandparents, they came over and they fought for that freedom. So they know the value and they know what it's worth because they had to earn it. They had kids and their kids had kids and their kids had kids. And here we are today where we don't really have to earn it anymore. We inherited it from those generations that sacrificed everything they had for the chance at the concept of freedom. So that's where I came to the conclusion that it seems like nowadays the confusion between um, the privacy, security, and freedom is because it was inherited rather than earned. So it's not valued the same way. Same thing that if I were to inherit $3 million from an uncle I never met, or even an uncle I did meet, relationship regardless, but I did not earn that money. I did nothing for it. It was given to me. So I don't value it. So I'm going to go and spend it however I want in the streets, just throwing money up, acting rich and famous, even though I didn't earn it. Rather than if I were to work my ass off and bleed for that money, now all of a sudden I'm counting pennies, even though I'm a multimillionaire. I'm counting pennies and using every single thing to my advantage because I know what it's worth because I had to earn it. And so, not comparing freedom to money in any which way at all. That's just where my mind connected it, and I think
Well,
that's where a lot
I
of people
mean,
relate to it.
financial. I say there is a big correlation between being financially stable and being free.
Yeah,
And not being essentially a slave to a system that
yeah,
has to it's a cyclic that you just get enough to get by, and then and that's essentially like what like socialism and what they're trying to do is like we'll just give you just
pay
enough to get
you.
by.
Yeah,
So on that money, we're I'm a big fan of Dan Crenshaw. I think the guy is doing really, really great things for politics in America. He's a patriot by all means. But at the end of the day, he works for his people, right? He works for the
yeah,
people that voted him for him. And one of the things that they're wanting is a stimulus. This is kind of where I personally disagree with him. I agree with him on a lot of facts, but this one I don't think I'm on board with because I know the bill's going to come due. The bill's going to come due, and
yeah.
like I said at the beginning, Bezos ain't paying this bill.
Right.
No one. The only people that are paying this bill is going to be what is left of the middle class or what's left of small business when this thing is all over.
Yeah.
But you had some interesting things, like as you were researching things, you had some interesting comments on the stimulus that they're pushing. And what is
It
that? What
seems
are they pushing?
it seems to me almost as if it's comedic at this point. Um, what we do with history is we read it. What we're supposed to do with history, let me fix that. We're supposed to read both sides of history and
Mhm.
learn from it in order to make future decisions for
Better
success.
decisions. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
We have written paper statistics showing that the economy did not fix itself after the first one. So
Right.
what they're saying now is that, well, let me back up a little bit. They're pushing for 2.2 trillion package.
Hmm.
It's being negotiated now, where legislation needs a bill. Pelosi's saying they need it by the end of the year. They need an actual paper, written down paper of what they're doing. I think now they're negotiating. Yesterday morning, I read 916 billion, which is a big difference from 2.2 trillion. So I'm not sure exactly where they're trying to negotiate this from, but I do know that that is not the key point. That if you focus on those numbers, you're going to be distracted. Those are distraction numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You really need to dive into what each one of these people are quoting, saying, on what they're actually intending on doing and where they're intending on getting this money from. Because you read that they're talking about the stimulus bill. I think they want $4,600 to go to a household or $600 per person. That's insane because
So the guy, tell him what the reason was, like what they
right.
think that how this is going to help the economy.
So they want to provide the stimulus check to people because they are quoting saying, and this is where it's comedic, that it will be a boost to the economy and businesses will boom again and unemployment rates will drop because of the demand and job opportunities for American people.
But specifically, they were talking about small business, right?
Small business. They think that well, not that they think. They're actually saying that small businesses will have a high demand in job opportunities and will hire. I think I just read yesterday morning, there's 853,000 new Americans unemployed. Those businesses that laid those Americans off, they're doing it because they are closing.
They're closed. That's my whole fun. That's why I'm laughing over here. It's like this money is supposed to go to help boom small business, and then small business will hire people. But at the same time, you're shutting small businesses down. So where's the money really going to be spent, Johnny?
So that's where, if you dive into a little bit, if you only focus on big newsline articles, you're not really going to get the full picture. You need to do full research and look at social media. You need to see what's trending, what kind of posts. So if you go on social media, TikTok, anything, you'll see that there's people already posting about what they're going to do with the next stimulus check. New Jordans are dropping. I think January 7th, there's a new pair dropping. They're all within the first quarter. New Nikes are coming out, and everyone's super excited about them. New tattoos. People are planning on getting tattoos. The American people are reading what the intentions are of this money. But think about it in a personal aspect. If you are a normal unemployed American and you got $4,600 in your account, free money, what are you going to do with it? It was not earned. It was inherited. So take that into account. So you don't value that money. I'm not saying you all don't, but most Americans are not going to value that money.
No, it's free money. They're just getting free money.
Yeah. Especially the new Jordans just dropped. Like all this is going on.
Oh, so, and when are they dropping? So you brought that up. So like there's a lot of different things. When are the new Jordans dropping?
So from January, I believe it's January 7th to March 21st. And they're wanting to give the stimulus check no later than the end of March. So they're wanting to give all of these unemployed Americans money while the Chinese factories are booming and launching all their stuff.
All
Taiwan,
their Jordans and
Indonesia, all these countries are making the new gear, launching it. Americans can only spend their money and big business, essential businesses, Walmart, Amazon, all these. I believe McDonald's is going to stay open too, which is kind of funny to me as well.
Well, they've never closed.
Right, exactly. Right. They're probably going to stay open. So the Chinese yen, I don't know how to pronounce what the other one is called, yen, and it's something else. But if anyone could Google this as well, type in Chinese yen and look at the stock for 1 year. It dropped drastically once the coronavirus happened. And then all of a sudden, it's on the rise as businesses start to close, especially during the holidays. Everyone's buying from Amazon and buying all these companies,
Walmart,
that are sourced from China. And it's unfortunate because the more American businesses are closing, the less Americans are working, the more money the government's pulling from these businesses that are closing and feeding to unemployed Americans for them to go spend it in China. So China's economy is going to boom. And maybe that's what they meant when they said the economy is going to boom. Maybe they weren't talking
they were talking about the Chinese economy.
I don't know, but that's just where I was. They're all puzzle pieces. Everything is out there, and the more you read, the more it just kind of fits together. And at this point, it almost seems like Americans are being held hostage, where if you take a normal hostage situation, you have the hostages, the negotiator, and then you have the bad guy, right? You have the guy holding people hostage. And normally in a hostage situation, the negotiator says, "What do you want in order to let the hostages go?" Right? So right now, Americans are hostage. Somebody is holding the American people hostage and not letting us be free like we were before. But they're
Yeah,
not
actually,
making
yeah,
they're
yeah.
not ransom. There's no ransom
Speaking of
payment.
that, we're in North Carolina. For those that don't know,
Yep.
they're tuning in. Um, we go into a curfew tonight.
Tonight, 10 p.m.
You better be in your house.
This is damn near the definition of being held hostage
Hmm.
almost.
Yeah,
We have no money, unemployment rate. We can't go out. We can't do anything. If we go out, we're going to get fined and ticketed and arrested. These are things that these are things, and this is unfortunate. I don't want to talk too much about it, but these are things that our brothers and sisters have died for. This is what we talked about as well.
yeah. We
Is
talked
that
about last night. Yeah, and
is that
we don't need to
we
like scratch open
bring
that
it up?
wound. But yeah,
Right. But these are things that freedom is supposed to be based on. And it's almost as if we're being held hostage without a ransom. Nobody's laying out the agenda clearly. We just need someone to come out and be like, look, this is the whole purpose of why we're doing this. We want this.
well,
And
I mean,
then,
Dan Crenshaw said like they're like Pelosi quoted Pelosi and pulled all the stuff out of around the corner about why she was doing it. And it was
yeah,
straight up. It was politics in the election. It had nothing to do with public safety. It had nothing to do with people's health. It had nothing to do with people's well-being. It was
it was a really good
100%
talk he did.
a
Yeah.
political agenda. Yeah,
Yeah.
And granted, it was revolved around one of the things was the stimulus package. But regardless of that, I mean, it's basically America. You're being played. You're being played by these politicians. You're being played by the media.
Yeah.
And they're just falling. They're falling in suit. They're falling in line with it.
And I think,
Just wear your
yeah, and
muzzle, get your
I think the
vaccine, stay
reason,
home.
so, and going along with that, I think the reason so many Americans are going along with it is because they don't value the actual true essence of what freedom is and what it
Right.
stands
To
for.
go back to the original point.
Right. If I inherited millions of dollars and the government were to come up and say, hey, we're going to take 1/3 of that, it's for tax reasons, and I didn't earn it, I'm not going to put up a fight. It's not mine. I didn't do anything for it.
Right.
But say I earned that, all of a sudden I'm counting pennies and I'm going to be like, look, man, no, I'm going to transfer this out. None of this is yours. You don't get this. I earned this. The same thing goes for freedom. If it's inherited, you're more likely to give it up because you don't know the true value of it. If you earned it, you're going to hold on to that and fight for your life to hold on to that freedom. And
Right.
I think that's where a lot of Americans are right now, is inherited rather than earned.
And I think that's the reason why, one of the reasons why you're seeing so many veterans
Yeah.
kind of getting a little louder about that, and things that, like those that followed me for years, I never once talked politics ever.
Yeah.
They didn't know if I was a Democrat, a Republican, a Libertarian, a pink unicorn. They had no idea. People always asked me, and I never
Yeah.
would answer because it was really not even anybody's business, and things were going good, right? We were focusing on our businesses, focusing on having the best life that we could, until
Yeah.
they raided the gym, and then here we are. I gotta fucking talk about politics.
Yep. All of a sudden,
So
your freedom is being compromised, and you
right,
earned it.
right, and
So
that
you're
was the
gonna fight
thing. It's
for
like I
it.
grew my hair long. I was like a hippie. I just wanted to work out, do training, help people lose weight, and have
Go to the
fun, and
beach.
go to the beach and make
Yep.
awesome grooming products that
Yeah.
that help people. And no, that's too much to ask. That's just too much to ask to just be left alone and to enjoy the country that you and I serve to protect and swore an oath to defend.
Yep.
So nonetheless, well, that was good, man. That was good.
Yeah. So I just had that thought while we were on the cardio machines. It's just-
We
it
didn't
seems-
we worked out beforehand, and then we had to do 20 minutes of cardio afterwards.
Yeah, I wasn't about to let my mind wander into politics while doing farmers carries and all that. So, yeah, it's interesting to me because I don't want to, even though the media seems to be portraying the negative aspect of wearing masks and being following along with everything.
Yeah.
I do believe that Americans have more power than we think.
They do. That's kind of the point of these conversations in the morning
Yeah.
is
I think that there's more I don't know if this is true, but I do feel like there are more. Am I frozen?
Yeah, you got frozen. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Okay, keep
frozen.
talking.
I think that there are more, and I don't know statistics. Like I said, I think there are more people that are wanting to fight back than the media is leading on for us to believe. I do think there are a lot of Americans that are questioning things, especially because it was just till Easter. I'm doing quotation fingers, but it's just till Easter, and it's just a couple-day quarantine. Days. I think all of that. I think people are getting tired of it and they want to fight back. So I don't think the media is portraying it properly, and that's something that they're really good at doing, is not portraying the truth fully. Like I said, there's two sides to everything, and if you only look at one side, you can make that fit any agenda you want. So you need both sides to get the full story, and that's something that I love doing, is putting both puzzle pieces together, and trying to get everything to fit properly, and it's all there. Everything is there. You just need to
And you
look.
really do. I'll give, working with Johnny for the last 3 years, I'll say that he does give everyone a fair shake on both sides always.
Yeah.
But he will also you will dive into some bullshit and be like, no, wait a minute.
I'm like, hold on now.
Hold on now. All right. Well, Johnny, I appreciate it. Let's go crush today. It's 12 days of Slickmas, and today at Johnny Slicks we have free shipping. Isn't that right?
All day.
All day free shipping. Stock up.
No code needed.
No code needed.
Just go to checkout.
Just go to checkout and get some free shipping. All right, man. Thanks. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Well, there you go, guys. There's the day. I'm gonna start doing these probably every Monday through Friday. Just hop in here at 9 a.m. Start inviting people and getting this information out, because I feel until Zuckerberg just turns my channel off, which he could totally do that. But nonetheless, I think it's these kind of conversations that if you guys share them, if you share these messages, if you share these points of view, it might just help someone understand or see a different side of what's going on, or potentially how dangerous this situation can be. And nonetheless, so that's that, guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Remember, you are afforded freedom. Your permission slip is the Constitution of the United States. You were born free. You are free, so you can be free. So you do not have to shut your business down. You do not have to wear a muzzle, and you don't have to abide by these curfews. Okay, they are not laws. They're not. There's no statutes. You can't be. If you go to court, you can't be. Like, they're not going to put you in jail. You are free if you are in America, and that is a beautiful thing, because a lot of men and women have died for that freedom, going back for a couple hundred years now. All right. So nonetheless, enjoy it. So enjoy America every single day, and we will see you back on this channel on Monday morning. All right. Bye, guys.